There's this definition of a wicked problem, which is circulating around in the literature, which suggests that a wicked problem is wicked if it has so many dimensions to it that you can't go at one angle to the problem and try to fix it. And I think school finance is like that. So school districts get money from their local communities in the form of property taxes. They'll also get money from the state, and the state might give them money through multiple formulas. And then a portion, a much smaller portion, about 9 or 10%, comes from the federal government. So even if you tried to solve the problem at, say, the state level, there are these other funding sources that come with their own restrictions, which ultimately affect how the money gets used in schools. Lots of states have policies like class size minimums, or policies that require teacher compensation based on master's degrees, or compensation based on longevity, those kinds of things that put in real roadblocks to doing more thoughtful ways of allocating resources. But there's another thing that states could do. We need a lot better information. We need information on what's working and what's not. We also need information on what stuff costs. So right now, we don't know what we're spending on math. So if we came up with another idea on how to teach kids math, and by the way, it costs $300 a student, we can barely even tell right now if that's a better deal or not financially, because we're not sure what we're spending on math right now. So we need better financial analytics and outcome analytics that help us tease out the parts of the system, both the financial and the outcomes parts, so we can start understanding that productivity better. In public education, the money is coded into these large amorphous categories like instruction or operations or student supports. And in fact, the category of instruction is about half of the total budget. So instruction, of course, is the main thing that schools do. And if you want to understand where the money is flowing, you can't really pull it apart any more than that. In probably a surprising twist to most people, you can't even figure out how much money you're spending per school. Districts hold the budgets, and they don't necessarily code the resources by school. So if you say, how much are you spending on school A versus school B? They'll answer they don't know. So what they can say is that our district spends on average, say, $10,000 a student, which is the national average. But how much, whether or not we're spending $15,000 on one school per student and $5,000 on another or not is not readily apparent. What's also missing is the spending differences between classrooms. It's such a multi-dimensional problem that it needs almost a complete overhaul to really fix it. And that will affect more than just the finance formulas. It will also affect the processes inside schools for how staffing happens and how classrooms are structured and how students are served. So it qualifies, in my opinion, as a wicked problem.